Hi, I'm Dr. Barbara Becker Holsteing, internationally known psychologist, originator of The Enchanted Self, and author of The Truth. I'm a girl, I'm smart, and I know everything. I'm passionate about helping other authors learn how to avoid some of the many pitfalls of trying to bring their books to the public. That's why I've joined up with Don McCauley as partners in Authors and Technology. We are determined to bring to authors all they need to know to market their books successfully. Don McCauley is a book marketing and publicity strategist with over 30 years of experience. He helps writers, small businesses, individuals, and service professionals create low-cost publicity and marketing campaigns to increase sales. He demonstrates how anyone can produce real results for little or no money by utilizing cutting-edge strategic marketing and publicity resources. No nonsense, free of hype, and based upon real-world experience. So hello, Don.
Hi, Barbara. How are you?
I'm great, Don. Now tell me, what is the number one marketing challenge facing authors today?
Some people might say it's the ever-increasing competition, and some might say it's changes in the industry itself, but in fact, the number one marketing challenge for authors lies in the minds of the authors themselves. It's in the overall marketing strategy employed. Most people can't get their heads around the required changes in marketing strategy the internet has really brought to the table, not only for authors, but for everyone. The key to being successful today lies in changing that overall or underlying marketing strategy. Most people believe marketing involves yelling, telling, and selling, but those days are long gone. To illustrate the difference, I'll use a simple analogy. The difference in marketing strategies from, let's say, a few years ago versus an internet strategy is somewhat like the difference between a newspaper ad and a yellow page listing. So let's look at the newspaper ad, and just imagine you want to sell a book, so you take out an ad in the newspaper, and that ad costs you $200 per day. Now the newspaper is distributed to its readership. Readers respond to the ad somewhere in the neighborhood of around 0.5%, and that percentage will nearly always hold true, 1 out of 200 or 5 out of 1,000. So, assuming 10,000 readers of the newspaper, you should get about 50 inquiries regarding that book. A much smaller percentage will actually buy the book, of course. Now that's a lot of expense for a very low return. And this is most likely a very poor book marketing strategy, as nearly anyone who has tried it will tell you. Now let's look at the yellow page ad. Imagine you offer a service. You place a listing in the yellow pages. Most people would find that the yellow page listing produces inquiries at a rate far and above the return they might get on that newspaper ad for the service. The difference is huge, so large in fact that there's simply no comparison. So why is this so? Here's the difference. Any type of ad pushes a generic message to huge numbers of people. However, hardly any of those people will be interested in what's being offered. If we look again at that newspaper ad, the newspaper is distributed to everyone, the public. Very few of those people are interested in buying a book today, and even fewer are interested in a book in a particular genre. Hence the low response rate, 0.5%, 5 out of 1,000. The return on that investment is going to be very, very small. On the other hand, in the old days, I guess, when somebody picked up the yellow pages, they had already decided what they were going to do. Nobody picked up the yellow pages and started reading through just to see what was there. They first made a decision and then began to look for what might fill their particular needs. They knew what they wanted and they intended to find it, and they had the credit card in hand. So what does this have to do with book marketing strategies? If you use internet advertising, email blasts, social media like Facebook and Twitter, or other outbound tools to market books on the internet, you're essentially running the internet version of a newspaper ad. You're sending a generic message to large groups of people, most of whom have no interest whatsoever in a book. Your return on investment will be about the same, and probably even lower, as you're hitting everyone, rolling the dice in the hopes of finding that minuscule percentage of people who might be interested. If, on the other hand, you develop a search engine marketing strategy to get in front of searchers who are searching right now, credit card in hand, for books, then you're using the old yellow page strategy. An internet search engine, regardless of the form it takes, is the modern day equivalent of that old Yellow Pages. These people are actively searching and they've already decided to buy a book. Now all you must do is get in front of those pre-sold buyers. We don't have to chase buyers. We don't have to find buyers. They're right there looking for books to buy today. For instance, last month on Google alone, over 450,000 people searched the engine using the phrase children's book. Over 650,000 searched the engine using the phrase Christian book. So if someone uses those phrases, what are they looking for? What do they want to do? Maybe some of them are doing research on children's books or Christian books, but most likely they want to buy a children's book or a Christian book right now. So why chase people around and spend all that time and money to get 0.5% return when there are hundreds of thousands of people ready to buy right now, credit card in hand? That's called search engine marketing. You see, the internet is a pull strategy. You cannot use a push strategy like advertising in a pull environment and expect to achieve success. Internet shoppers, and that's almost everybody today, have already decided what they want, and they have decided already where they're going to look. And so the biggest challenge is to simply change one's mind about the marketing strategy being utilized.
How can those new to marketing overcome that challenge?
Search engine marketing is, without a doubt, the most effective form of marketing used today. I've read a number of industry articles that state that search engine marketing will be the only marketing model that will work in a few years, and I believe that. But many people don't use it because they simply don't understand how to do it. When we don't understand something, we naturally shy away from even attempting to use it. I've been in marketing for about 30 years. I'm here to tell you that search engine marketing is the most efficient form of marketing available today. It's much easier to use than the old model. It's much cheaper. It's far easier to implement, and it requires less time than the old model. And frankly, for those who are marketing anything, it's a dream come true. But there is a learning curve, and you must learn how it's done.
Even learning about internet marketing is challenging. Is there a simple model one can follow?
We can take it as far as you want to take it, but there's a greatly simplified three-step model. 1, you must get traffic and a lot of it. Visitors to your website or book marketing page. Of course, that requires some technical skill. 2, you must have systems in place to convert those visitors to buyers, as it's possible to have a lot of traffic and no sales. Now, this step is not technical in nature, but it requires instead a people approach. You must understand what causes people to hit the buy button today. And 3, you must do only things that work and forget the rest. It's very possible to spend a lot of time doing things that don't work. While these things will keep us busy, make us feel good, or cause us to believe we're doing something, in fact, we're not accomplishing anything at all.
What is the first step?
The first step is to make a decision to stop trying to find buyers, to stop chasing everybody. You must clearly identify those who have already made that buying decision as those are the people most likely to buy your work. In the old days, that took a great deal of research. However, today, we don't have to do that research. The buyers are there on the search engines looking for books today. If we look at the number of searchers, the numbers are really staggering. Romantic fiction, 49.5 thousand searchers per month. Children's books, 450,000 searchers a month. Christian books, 650,000 searchers a month. And those are just the numbers from Google. They don't include Amazon or Barnes & Noble or any of the other engines. These are the numbers of people who are searching for these types of books today. All we must do is get in front of them.
How does one proceed from there?
Well, of course, first we must understand which search terms these buyers are using, how they are searching, and perhaps more importantly, why they are searching. We have to get inside the mind of the buyer. What is it that will cause the potential buyer to buy? What are they looking for? Why are they looking for it? We then use the most powerful tools we can use to get in front of them with a powerful message. As I mentioned, there are many things that don't work and a few things that do work to get us in front of those groups of buyers who have already decided to buy. Things like advertising, email blasts, or social media are very weak. If we look at industry studies regarding how buyers prefer to receive information about products, advertising and social media are nearly always at the very bottom, while things like search engines and blogs are nearly always at the very top. And so search engine optimization and optimized content distribution strategies using tools like blogs are very powerful.
What actually works to create awareness and drive traffic?
Well, number one, of course, as always, is word of mouth, but we can't create word of mouth unless people know that something exists, hence the need to get in front of them in the first place. So the first step is to get in front of them, and the only way to do that efficiently in today's internet marketing model is to use search engine marketing. We might get a few using social media, we might get a couple using email blasts, but by using search engine marketing, we may be able to get in front of not some of them, but every single one of them.
Any final recommendations?
Well, I work with hundreds and hundreds of authors, and during our initial consultations, I naturally ask them what they're doing in regards to marketing. Almost all of them answer with, I'm on Facebook or Twitter or some other kind of outbound approach. That's not necessarily wrong, it's just very inefficient. While the outbound approach might produce results for a minuscule percentage of authors, generally it's very time-consuming, inefficient, and ultimately creates failure. My final recommendation would be to stop thinking of marketing as finding buyers and start thinking about developing powerful strategies that will allow those pre-sold buyers to find you. Now, this is not only true for authors, it's true for everyone selling any type of product or service. The internet's not going to go away. It's not going to fall out of favor. It's not a fad. So if you hope to be successful, you must learn how to do internet marketing or else. And above all, remember, if a person can skip advertising or sales messages, they will skip advertising or sales messages. Stop for a moment and think about how you feel when you receive a sales message, a piece of spam or a pushy advertisement. If you hope to be successful today, you must understand a very simple concept, and this concept has always been true and it will never change. People do not like to be sold, but they do love to find what they are seeking.
Thanks so much for joining us today, and find us all the time on www.authorsandtechnology. We're looking to see you there.